Thank you all for joining this presentation. My name is Kurt Germond. I am a member of the MMO Cashout marketing team. You're about to learn how you can make a lot of money in the video gaming world, which many people have been trying to do for a long time now. Unfortunately, up till now, only a select few have been able to do so. However, with MMO Cashout, the opportunity to become wealthy in this industry is now a reality for everyone. We are fortunate today to have one of MMO Cashout's veterans, Elizabeth Evans, having been a villager in MMO Cashout since 2013. Elizabeth has been a video gaming addict for over 30 years. She has agreed to share her insights into the world of video gaming and the earning opportunities with MMO Cashout. Elizabeth, thank you for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me on the call.
First, could you tell our listeners a bit about MMO Cashout and the video gaming industry?
Sure. So MMO stands for Massively Multiplayer Online, and Cashout, yes, I can hear you think it does actually stand for money, you betcha. So unless you've been sleepwalking through life for the last 30 years, you probably know something about video games, right? You've heard names like Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, WoW, right? World of Warcraft, Tank, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, and that's just to name a few, right?
Right, now this is just a drop in the bucket compared to the thousands of games that are out there that people play.
Absolutely. These are just some of the names that are going to be more recognizable, say, than others, right? So MMO Cashout is actually leading a historic change. This movement is being enjoyed by people all over the world, right? Everything is changing in the video gaming world, and you can be part of this multi-billion-dollar industry now. Now, the only thing you have to do is spread the word. We've got everything in place. We've got perfect timing. We've got a product with the largest global appeal backed by an experienced and successful team.
Okay, well, that's great. Now, how did all this get started?
Let's actually take a little bit of a step back to the beginning of the video gaming industry for a second here. Okay, so the first known computer game was actually released back in 1950. So as the variety of computer games grew, so did their acceptance, right? The video game industry got a huge boost in the 1970s with improved graphics, hardware, capacity, and software. Right? This led to the creation and release of the first arcade video game in 1972, and I'm sure we've all heard of it, Pong.
Oh, you got it.
You betcha, right? So from there, the path leads to living rooms, dens, game rooms, and the rest of the homes in America and around the world.
Now, after Pong, what happened then?
Well, the next progression occurs in the early 1980s with dial-up service with a variety of games used for proof of concept by hardware manufacturers and software programmers. At the same time, handheld devices designed for game playing were introduced, things like Game Boy or PS.
Game Boy, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, right, or PSP, right, the personal PlayStation, right? Then in the 1990s, a new round of action and interest for gamers came about. For the first time ever, you could interact with your friends online and play games together. Now, Neverwinter Nights was released in 1991. It was the most successful MMO game for the next 6 years.
Now, it sounds like you know something about Neverwinter. Can you tell us what that was about?
Yeah, you could say I know just a little bit, right? Now, unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity to play that first MMO version of Neverwinter, but I've gotten involved since then in a lot of their standalone games, things like Baldur's Gate 2, Neverwinter Nights 2 with all of their expansions, right? And now we've got Neverwinter Online, where, right, 2 million plus people meet to play this game, right?
Okay, all right.
And so it's growing just a tiny bit from Pong or, right, the 1950s, where I'm sure having a couple million people online would have terrified them at that point, right?
Right. Well, they didn't have the opportunity then, but now, well, how has the internet affected the video game experience?
Well, the one point these video games have in common is the growth they've experienced with the development of the World Wide Web, as I was just mentioning, right? So a lot of the video games today are developed for groups, right? The MMO, massively multiplayer online, where they get together, right? They create guilds, clans, or similar groups to improve their rankings, enhance their skills, and to extend their social reach, right? There's all different kinds of things that they can do in these games nowadays, right?
Now, I said, with all these people online, are there any kind of statistics that the industry has given us so we can show the growth?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I could probably almost bore you with, right? um, but let's take a look. Of course, I've got a few on hand. So, 29% of video gamers are actually over the age of 50. I know everybody thinks that video gaming is like a kid's or a teenage thing,
Right.
and right, like they are just, unfortunately, they are so missing the big picture, right? 20 years ago, maybe it was the kids, but you know what? We grew up, and there are some of us, right? Speaking for myself in particular, that right, never really grew up when it came to video games, right? So,
Right.
right, technically, right, we say I've got over 30 years. I've got over 34 years playing video games, right?
Wow.
So yeah, right. Now I'm not quite over the age of 50 yet, but you know what? I'm heading there. And do you think I'm going to stop playing when I hit
No,
50? I don't think so.
not
Right?
with MMO Cashout, at least, either.
No, right. So 55% of gamers actually use their phones or handheld devices to play their games nowadays, right? Gotta
Really?
love those handhelds.
Yeah.
Right? The average player, remember I was talking about this, right? The average player is 30 plus years of age and has been playing for over 12 years, right? I get them a little bit beat, but that's okay, right? Women over 18 are one of the market's fastest growing demographics,
Oh, okay.
right? The U.S. actually ranks esport gamers as professional athletes. Now, this is strides for our industry.
That's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, right. As a video gamer, I wish that we'd have had those kinds of opportunities when I was looking at going to college, right?
I would have never graduated if I had that opportunity.
Well, no, you would have graduated with a different set of skills, right?
That's true.
But right, like Apple's App Store. All right, everybody knows what Apple is, right? Apple's
Right.
App Store has about 200,000 paid game apps currently.
Now, that's
Okay.
only about, what, half of the actual games, so there are a lot of
That's,
free ones, too.
you betcha. And the Android store has roughly the same,
Mhm.
right? Video game profits for the iOS and Android handhelds are expected to be greater than the profits of Sony and Nintendo combined by 2016.
Wow. Huh.
So we have a way to get a piece of it.
Right.
Okay. Here's one I know you're going to love, right?
You sure?
34% of gamers have reported that they've played games on their mobile device while sitting on the toilet.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe that's going a little bit too far, but you see
those are the addicts, right?
dedication, right? The
Those are
dedication.
the addicts.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit, right? And college and universities around the globe have now started actually offering scholarships for video gaming. This is how
That's
we know
amazing.
we're starting to actually get accepted, right? Today, the video gaming market is comprised of 2.5 billion gamers. This is a third of the planet's population, people, and it is growing. We're talking about an enormous, expanding market.
Now, with the market this large and growing every day, I'm assuming, how does this help someone earn money?
Well, MMO Cashout actually helps people to make money by teaching them how to spread the word, and here's how that works. Right? MMO Cashout's created a brand new video game marketing platform which rewards members for their connections, plain and simple. People can join only through invitation from an existing villager, right? That's you, spreading the word. You can get a huge head start by being one of the first to send out invitations to MMO Cashout.
Head Start. Can you go over that and exactly what that means?
Sure. So you can get a huge head start by being one of the first to spread the word to every person you know and invite them to be a part of your kingdom. Now, this video game platform is spread by word of mouth, invitation only. You're not invited. You're not given a link. You cannot, no, you cannot go to the company website and just join. You must connect with somebody who has already joined and is a villager within the kingdom.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Is there any way to tell our listeners how they can earn money with the MMO Cashout platform?
Of course, and this is where, right, where I start having the most fun. I love this part, right? So let me explain just a few ways that you have to earn a substantial income as a villager with MMO Cashout, right? You can earn from building your kingdom, which is what we've been talking about today, right? You can earn by promoting your own online store that we give you loaded with video games. You've got your personal MMO Cashout website. This is your invitation link for people, right?
Right.
You've got a site to buy and sell game gear and hardware, right? For those of us that are gamers, right, we're always buying new things like video cards, even though the old video card isn't broken or anything, it just won't play my brand new game. This is a way for people to offload some of that type of thing, and of course there's all kinds of other things you can, right, this is just an example, but this would be a way for you to offload some of that and make some of the money back that's sitting there in hardware that you're not going to reinstall, but that somebody else may have a use for, right?
Okay.
Right? And you'll make commissions from your purchases of games, right? We'll pay you to buy your games. Did you hear that?
Well, that's not a bad idea. Now, also, somebody, if they go to your game store, you can make some money that way also, right?
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? That's promoting your own online store with your video game, loaded with the video games.
Okay.
Okay.
So you mentioned before a villager. What is? Can you tell us what you get when you're a villager with MMO?
Sure. So villagers actually have 3 different levels, right? There's peasant, squire, and royal, and I'll break those down here for you in a moment, right? We are currently in pre-launch, so right now you can join at any of those 3 levels. Once we leave pre-launch, you'll be able to come in as a peasant, and then you will have to actually qualify to rise up to squire and royal. So right now, this is another great reason to get involved right now, because if you want to get involved and make the best money and position yourself to do the best, you want to come in at royal level and pre-position, right?
Okay.
You can do that right now while we're in pre-launch. All right, so as a peasant, okay, your taxes are only $10 a month. Talk about affordable. Right? And for that, you receive access to your personal GamesBuyIt.com store. You'll make a percentage share of all the items sold in your store. You'll collect $2 in taxes from every one of your kindred who pay to maintain their village every month. You'll earn 25 cents in taxes from every villager in your kingdom who's not your direct kindred, right? And a kindred is somebody that you invite, right, into the kingdom that joins you at one of the 3 paid levels, okay?
Okay.
So next level is squire. So as a squire, you are now a blue blood. Your taxes are only $50 a month. Now you'll collect taxes from all the villages in your kingdom, up to $10 a month for every kindred, depending on their level, and up to $1 monthly for every villager in your kingdom who's not your kindred. You'll of course receive all the benefits given to peasants, and access to additional promotional tools and blog access after we've left our pre-launch period.
Right.
Now, royal.
When you mentioned pre-launch before, could you just hit that again and explain the benefit of joining now?
Sure. Again, right? With us being in pre-launch right now, you can come in, you can join at any of the 3 paid levels, all right? Peasant, squire, or royal. You never have to worry about qualifications for any, right, like for the squire or royal level, all right? Okay. Now that means you can come in at peasant right now as well if you want and still not have to worry about the qualifications, but obviously the advantages are, right, weighted more towards those that are ready to position themselves to earn the best income, make the most out of it, right?
Okay.
So right now, right, you can come in peasant, squire, or royal, no qualifications, boom, you're in. Okay. After pre-launch is over, you'll come in, initially you'll come in as a squatter, which is an unpaid position, right? You can't earn from your kingdom that way, but you'll come in as a squatter, and then you'll immediately rise up to a peasant. From there, you will be qualifying to rise up further, okay?
A squatter still gets the Games Buy It store, correct?
Water still gets the free store, you betcha, and still gets to
Okay.
earn from their own purchases of their games, right?
Right.
They
Okay.
just don't get to earn from the kingdom, which right now is where the good money is.
Right. Okay.
Okay, now
Good.
as a royal, all right,
Okay.
you're the kingdom's aristocrat. Now, for this esteemed privilege, you'd expect to pay literally like an arm and a leg, right?
Right.
But your taxes are only $99 a month at royal
That's
level, and
still
this
very
is the
reasonable.
highest. Yep, yep, and that's the highest paid level.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you will receive the best of everything as a prestigious villager. You'll collect up to $20 in monthly taxes for each kindred, depending on their level. You'll collect up to $3.50 in monthly taxes for all the extended villagers or villages in your kingdom. You'll receive, of course, all the benefits of squire and peasant levels. And you'll get to start qualification for the Royal Soldier level, which is the first of our premier levels. They don't cost you additional money, but if you are interested in those levels, want to know more about them, then get back with the person that invited you to this call. Right, they'll have the information about the Royal Soldier level, the other premium levels, as well as the potential $10,000 in bonuses attached to that. You betcha. Right,
Okay.
we like to reward our members. All right.
Okay.
So now, right, speaking of rewards, right, I'm going to
Sure.
give you an example of the money you can make in your kingdom as a royal. All right, but before I do that, I want you to understand that this is an example. I cannot guarantee that you're going to make this kind of money because I don't know the kind of time and effort you're going to put into your business.
Right.
All right. If you don't put any effort in, obviously you're not going to be making these kinds of money or like these kinds of incomes. And I don't have any way to control that. So, right, just be aware, right? This is entirely dependent on your effort. But this will give you a little bit of an idea as to, right, the potential here. So let's say you've got 3,000 villages owned by peasants. You'll earn a tax of $1,350 a month, okay? And you've got 3,000 villages owned by squires. You'll earn an additional tax of $4,500 a month. And just for fun, let's say you've got another 3,000 villages that are owned by royals. You'll earn a tax of $10,500 a month. Now that makes your earnings $16,350 per month in this example, and that's 9,000 villages in your kingdom. Now I want you to understand that, right, your kingdom can be and will be a lot larger than this if you put a little bit of effort in. I've got another example further down that will go into that, but I want you to understand that this is just a small slice of what is potentially earnable. Okay.
Right. Now, the whole thing about these 9,000 villages, these are not people you personally sign up. These are people that you signed up and the people they sign up and the people they sign up.
And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You
Right.
betcha. You
Okay.
betcha.
Now,
Okay.
is the village tax is the only way you can earn money in MMO Cashout?
Actually, there are additional bonuses, including cash, right? Cars, you can believe it. We give you the payment equivalent to a brand new BMW, right? Now, I say it that way because I'm personally not that big a fan of BMW particularly. I've got other vehicles I like that are just as expensive, and I got told, you know what, we're going to make the car payment up to, right, specified amount of dollars. You choose the cars. So,
Right. That's great.
I can't wait to get mine, right? 2-week all expense paid vacation, right?
Nice.
Fast track bonuses. And that's just to name a few, right? This company is designed to make us money, right?
I love it.
You betcha, right? And it all starts with building this massive kingdom by spreading the word to everyone you know, right? The rewards you can reap will be enormous, right? Remember that 2.5 billion gamers?
Right.
Well, it starts with you. And not a year or 2 years from now, not after 50 million people or 100 million have joined, right? That's right. You found out about it now, right? How many times have you heard this? If I was only in the right place at the right time, I could have been rich.
I heard that several times, and hopefully this is not going to be one of them where that applies.
Well, no, but this is that moment in time. This is exactly what you have in front of you. If you move, that is what you have in front of you. The MMO Cashout kingdoms will continue to expand as connections wrap around the world. And MMO Cashout is geared for monumental expansion. right? And first inviters, like those listening into this call, will have a head start.
Excellent. Now, I said when you talk about spreading the word, I know video gamers are online, playing online, are always talking to their buddies and their clans and their guilds, and they can just talk to each other and explain, hey, I just found out a great way to make some money online. Here it is.
Yeah. Hey, I just found a great way to make money from doing what we love to do. Hey, I just found a great way to make money. You know what, guys? You know how we all play on our Xboxes, right? And so we access whatever games we're playing that day out of the like 2 or 3 or 5,000 games that are on that site.
Right.
Did you know that we can actually make money buying our cards?
Hmm.
Want to
Okay.
talk about stop chat in a chat room dead? Because Xbox controls the price of their cards.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you get them. You can get them online, you can get them at your local store, you can get them at your local game store. Doesn't matter. They control the cost. Well, if you
Right.
go and you get it through your Games Buy It store, then you make an instant commission back on your own purchase.
Okay.
Okay, that is one of the reasons as a gamer, I am just absolutely, oh my God, about this particular program. Okay, the other thing is commissions 3 levels deep. Okay, again, in our gaming world, you don't get that. It means that if I brought Nick in, and Nick brought John in, and John buys the game. John makes money, and John makes the biggest chunk of money, which is really cool.
Right.
But Nick also makes money, and so do I. And
That's the 3
I
levels.
didn't do anything. That's 3 levels.
Okay.
And Nick brought John in, right? Nick introduced John to his store, and John bought a game. John saved money, right? Save/made money. Nick made money. I made money.
That's amazing.
This doesn't
Okay.
happen. This doesn't happen in our world. Okay.
No.
So by introducing MMO Cashout, right, and our platform to the world, you have an opportunity to get rich by spreading the word, right? Or, right, I know you're going to hear this in a few months, right? Have you heard about MMO Cashout? I joined a couple of months ago, and I am making so much money. Oops. How bad did you feel? Pretty low, huh? And you want to know how I know? At MMO Cashout, we know what's going to happen when we start the public invitation phase and open the free invites to the 2.5 billion gamers. It's going to go viral right away. Even the words used for MMO Cashout are easy to know and understand. When someone joins, they get a village, and that village falls into the kingdom. Now, you just spread the word and watch your kingdom grow. And do you remember I said I had another example for you? Oh, we apparently have possibly lost Kurt. That's okay. We'll continue on. So, additional example. If you spread the word to 250 people that you know on social media and game guilds, and half the MMO, get the half, there we go. See, messed me up. That's okay. Half get the MMO Cashout vision and join your kingdom. And half of their connections repeat the process. And let's just say one more time, half their connections make it, right? They also see the vision and join. You realize that adds up to nearly 2 million villages in your kingdom. So that example of 9,000 villages isn't a very big slice at all, now is it? Now, this will certainly happen for many individuals, right? And they will certainly gain from all of these connections, right? Yep, and it looks like I have definitely lost Kurt. So that's okay, not a problem. So, along with what you've just heard, right, we do have more to come. We've got on the drawing board mining cryptocurrencies, right, promoting tournaments, beta testing games, new game development. We'll have a marketplace so gamers can find all of their gaming gear, and that's just to name a few, right? Those of you on the call should consider yourself privileged to hear about this first. You definitely want to be in place and ready to spread the word to all your gaming and marketing connections. Now is the time to take action. We've everything in place, as I mentioned earlier. Perfect timing, a product with the largest global appeal backed by an experienced and successful team. Right? So don't wait for millions more to join ahead of you in MMO Cashout. Secure your position today by contacting the person that invited you to this presentation. Right? Ask them how you can start your own MMO Cashout kingdom. Get in on the excitement. Get in on the money. Or your next stop could be the dungeon. And believe me, the money is going to be a whole lot less there and the fun is going to be much reduced. So thank you for attending this presentation. Thank you from the MMO Cashout realm. And to all of my gamer friends out there, happy rampaging.